West Coast horse heading to the Kentucky Derby. Gotta take notice.
Trust the Profits is proud to be sponsored by Game of Silks. Go to silks.io to get in the game. Real ownership, real races, real rewards.
Welcome to the Trust the Profits Kentucky Derby Spotlight Series. My name is Keith. I'm going to go through a contender for the Kentucky Derby, 150th running for the Run for the Roses. This highlight features a closer look at Stronghold, a contender from the West Coast who has earned 125 Derby points leading up for this 150th running of the Derby. Let's take a little bit closer look at the pedigree and the connections for Stronghold. All right, so we got Stronghold here, who is out of Ghost Zapper, and a spectator mare out of Jimmy Creed. So let's take a look here closer. This horse is owned by Eric M. Waller and Sharon Waller, and the trainer is Philip D'Amato, with the jockey aboard as of right now is Antonio Frezu. Now, Stronghold has raced 6 times in his career, 3 wins and 3 second-place finishes. So we got 6 career races here. Has never finished worse than second place in his career, and he does have a trait for the Kentucky Derby that I feel could really suit him well. A strong suit that I'll get into. Hopefully, really, earn him a nice competitive edge there on the front end for the Kentucky Derby. He's had an interesting trail too, leading up to this big race. First Saturday in May. We got Stronghold debuts at Ellis Park in a maiden special weight race, earning a 74 Equibase speed figure, and then wins a maiden special at Churchill 2 months later. So breaks the maiden there at Churchill, second career start, earning an 82 speed figure. This race is notable to me, the one at Churchill on October 1st. This was a commendable field as all 3 pace getters, so first, second, and third, would win graded stakes later on in their career. And the 3 of those horses, so you actually could look those up there, those 3 horses have actually all qualified now for the Kentucky Derby, including Stronghold. Then Stronghold comes to the West Coast and finishes second in a strong field of the Bob Hope Stakes with an 88 speed figure. And then a month later runs in the Los Al Futurity, finishing second. So there's a lot of consistency with this horse. Really shows up every single time. And then goes and wins the Sunland Derby, earning a 92 speed figure on the front end, not letting his rivals get past him. He actually, in the process, set a new track record at Sunland with a time of 142.64 at the mile and 1/16th distance. So I actually remember this race is just nice front end speed. Wasn't the strongest field, but it was an impressive effort, track setting effort. Got to take notice of that, improving every race, and then comes back 2 months later and really scores the biggest career win for Stronghold of the career, wins a Grade 1 Santa Anita Derby, beating a pretty solid horse in Imagination in the process. So you have Stronghold has raced in Grade 3s, Grade 2s, and Grade 1s. He's a very consistent type horse, as I mentioned. I really believe he actually has a legit long shot look for the Kentucky Derby. His speed figures are improving with every start. I know it's not impressive, off the chart numbers, but they're just gradually improving. We're looking for hopefully that huge step forward for the Kentucky Derby. He's going to need it. And, that 99 speed figure in the Santa Anita Derby was his best to date. I'd categorize Stronghold as an upfront stalker, meaning that he will show speed, but he won't be too far back, and he's not a need the lead type. So he's not really, trip dependent. I think that's actually a good suit also to have for the Kentucky Derby. You got 20 horses really battling for positioning, especially around that first turn. So it's going to be interesting how that unfolds. I think Stronghold is not really dependent. It's going to be obviously the toughest race of his career, but The main trait that I feel that could help Stronghold win the Kentucky Derby is this stubbornness, the stubborn factor of not letting his rivals pass him. He seems to really be battle tested. He really digs in. It's that like down for the fight mentality, that grit that I really like. I actually will take that every time in the Kentucky Derby. I know the numbers don't jump off the page, but it's just something that they don't teach. It's like this horse could finish first, could finish sixth, but it's just something that it's within him that you can't teach at that point. Now, this trainer, Phil D'Amato, is known for bringing big turf horses around the country, not necessarily these dirt horses. So that's interesting to me. I still think that Stronghold does have a look here. Now, can he win? That's the big question of the day. Can he actually win the biggest race of the year and the first leg of the Triple Crown? Going to be tough. I mean, you got a lot of solid contenders. I do like the gritness, the speed figures going up. I really think that this horse could really be a factor up front. Got to see the post position as a lot of these rivals as we, hopefully get this post draw. I think it's going to be coming this weekend. So coming up soon. Another factor that I thought was interesting in the betting pools for the future pools is that this horse was over 60 to 1 in the future pools and it's dropped all the way to 32 to 1. So there's some movement there, cut in half in the future pools. Got to take notice of that. So the bettors have taken notice. Just horse Stronghold just had a bullet workout as I record this during the week. He just had a bullet workout just the other day, probably one of his, maybe if not his final prep at Santa Anita before heading out. Is that he just had one out of 71 horses in his final workout with 4 furlongs and 46.60. That's real big time racehorse time right there. That's a bullet workout there. Believe that Stronghold has actually already arrived. I saw a video online. He's already arrived at Kentucky, looked happy, eating his hay ball right away. So you never know. Happy horse could result in, if he shipped well, he's got talent. So I'm looking at Stronghold as a live long shot for the Kentucky Derby. And my name is Keith. You can find me at Each Every Stride on X Twitter. This is the Trust the Profits Spotlight series for horses, taking a deeper look at their chances. I like Stronghold as a live long shot. I'm going to be using him in all exotic plays, maybe a little sprinkle on top. You never know. Kentucky Derby, the pace could change. We've seen it in years past where you get competitive horses up front that don't want to let rivals get past. So give me Stronghold as a live long shot for the 150th running for the Kentucky Derby. And make sure you like the button and subscribe to Trust the Profits. We got a lot of Kentucky Derby content coming this week and beyond, right before the big race. So thanks for checking it out. Good luck to everybody, and good luck to Stronghold on Saturday.